Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Somebody give me a sound check in the room. Let me know if you hear me okay. Let me pull everything up. Ricky, good morning. Let me share my screen. One sec. Okay. All right, how's screen view? Screen view good? Hey, Miguel, good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Hi, Karen. Hey, Connie. Hi, good morning, guys. Good morning, Tony. So I'm glad we had a chance. We have a chance to hang out today. It's Monday. We usually don't trade on Mondays, but if there's opportunities, we'll definitely take them. But I wanted to just kind of hang out with you guys for a little bit to explore some longer term potential ideas for the what I would call the session trade ideas. And just kind of discuss the high lows have just been working remarkably. I don't know if you guys have been trading the high lows. I mean, look at NAS. Even if you if this it wasn't quite kosher in the sense that it didn't quite hit the low, it definitely bounced off the lows. I took this one. This was a nice easy trade. This was a trade I took earlier, I think, in the Dow, and there was a couple of ones earlier. I mean, that protocol of obviously waiting for the high low to occur, waiting for confirmation. If you're wrong, giving it a second chance deeper, and if you're wrong yet again, giving it a third chance deeper really works well. I mean, I would say 3 chances is pretty much it. If you happen to be in a stealthy creeper mode where you're kind of just making fresh high lows with a very, very shallow retrace and then come back in a shallow retrace, then you just give up. But that type of pattern is super, super rare. Super rare. I mean, like I would say rare to the point of like 1 out of maybe 50 truly unbreakable creeper one-way moves. Most of the times, they do bounce off a small amount, which is all we're looking for, off the high lows, giving us that very high probability trade. So there's nothing much more to say about that than just to continuously do it, because it just banks pips all day long. The only thing is obviously you just have to be prepared to watch for it, because it's one of those kind of things where you snooze, you lose. You have to, if you take a look at the markets for 2 or 3 hours, you're going to have probably 2 or 3 opportunities in each instrument to trade it, and I think that really works well. So the high-low idea, I think, is very solid. I don't know if has anybody. I'm actually curious. Has anybody traded it? Has anybody, who's traded it today? Just respond to me a little bit. I'm just kind of curious to see what you guys are thinking. Anybody trade so far today at all, or are you guys just kind of getting started? Yeah. What did you trade, Crossy? Did you trade the high lows? Did you take some trades in NASDAQ? And also there was a few in Dow as well. Oh, the breakouts. So what does that mean? Oh, you actually Russell, you actually just trade fresh lows, fresh highs. Is that what you did? Fresh lows, fresh highs in the Russell? You love the Russell. Wow, you are you crack me up. You love the Russell. Okay, well, it's a good thing. Everybody needs to do what they're comfortable and what they like trading. That's fine. But anyways, my point is, for those of you that just want a very consistent pattern, this is a great pattern to trade. Tony, did you trade at all today in the on the high lows? Oh, I see. So what does that mean? So like if S&P breaks one way and Russell lags, you're just you're just going to follow Russell because Russell is the laggard. You're trading relative strength basically. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. Yeah. I've tuned Afghanistan out. It's, it was a clusterfuck to start with, and it's going to end up as a clusterfuck, and there's nothing you can do. The British lost it. The Russians lost it. We lost it. It's just, they need to figure it out themselves. And everybody is an armchair general now. They're all screaming about how terrible it is. I'm like, if it's so fucking terrible, go get a gun and go die for that. If you're not willing to die for it, then shut the fuck up and let the thing play out the way it is. I mean, it's a disaster. I'm not diminishing it at all, but there's nothing we could have done at this point, I think. Anyways, oh, I see. Okay. So anyways, I just invite you guys to really play with the high lows. They're just it's an excellent. It's really like sort of the best scalping idea I can find. But on a much more structural level, I mean, the high low actually, there was a couple of things that just triggered something in my mind. One, on Friday, when we're doing trading battle with Etienne and I forgot the other guy's name. What really struck me was that both of these guys, and this is a very common pattern in like almost every trader who comes on a trading battle, is that all of them are effectively trading turn, right? They're trading the turn trade. And I know we would constantly preach the idea of trend, but the first series of trend is the best. That's effectively trend. That's effectively turn, is what all those guys do. And it triggered something in my mind, and I realized that I've been counting my sell buy sequences all wrong. I've been counting them all wrong. I've been counting for a confirmation of a buy or a confirmation of a sell, when in fact, what I need to be looking is at the exhaustion of the sell, exhaustion of the buy signal, and the first in the turn. So let me sort of put that into practical terms, show you what the proper count is on all this stuff, and then I want to pull you guys on longer term charts and just show you what I have in mind. So let me see if I can go back on this. Now, mind you, guys, obviously, so when you're in Asia session, especially like in August, typically on a sort of a session trade, we like to trade with a 20 stop and a 10 target. But when you're in a compressed volatility environment like this, okay, I'll get back to the high lows in a bit, Tony. I guess my point is, I generally like to, I prefer to fade rather than go with the break. I only use the breakout move on the high lows at the beginning of the New York session. All the other time, the fade move is the stronger move in my opinion. But back to the session idea of like finding the proper turn move, right? So first, I'm going to trade with just a 5 target 10 stop and NQ, not the other way around. And I'll explain to you why, because we have very low volatility regime, right? So how do I find exhaustion of prior trend and the start of a new one using this technique? And I'm going to show you. Before we were looking for like a sell and 2 buy confirmations, we actually need to flip this completely. What we need to look for is at least 2 in the proper or the opposite trend direction. It could be as a million of them. It doesn't matter. What we're looking for is a sequence where we have 2 in the opposite, 1 in a direct in this particular sequence. So 2 sells and a buy, or 2 buys and a sell, because it's that turn from sell to buy, from buy to sell, that really matters. And when you're doing 2, it could be preceded by 100 sells beforehand. It could be very serious sell off. The critical thing is that first turn after a strong, severe sell-off, that creates the best probability. So if you took this, super easy for it. 5 points is actually probably worth even 10 points, right? Now, right now, you don't have any signals, because remember, we're looking for at least two in the same direction. So actually, sorry, you do have a signal here. So there was one positive one earlier, and then one positive in the European session, because you have two continuous buys, and now you're looking for the exhaustion of the buy. And here, if you pick the sell over here, boom, straight down. Now you have two continuous sells, three continuous sells. Now it's all sells, sells, sells. Now here's what's interesting is if we get a buy over here, like if this turns buy, that confirms our turn trend theory. So if I get a buy over here, that's a buy, because that's the first signal in a multitude of selling that's ended. Is that clear? I'm sort of trying to show it to you physically, because I'm having struggling trying to explain it to you verbally, but I hope that's visually understandable. What we're looking for, what is a much better signal for us, is exhaustion of one trend and the start of another one. That's the highest probability entry that we can find. So let me know in the comments if you guys are clear on that. And so this was, in the overnight session, obviously two positives in NASDAQ. You can go into the Dow. I think let's go to Dow. You had the similar kind of, you certainly had the similar kind of, this was interesting. Yeah, I think, so here's a Dow. We start all sells. There's multiple sells. It doesn't matter. It's a huge sell, so fine. We'll let that go. What we're looking for is that junction of when the sell turns to buy. So you have two sells followed by a buy. That's the sequence. You get long over here. Again, here you trade 20-10 because it's low compression. Although you could have made full 20, but let's just give it ourselves 10-20. So plus 10, you make money. Here's an interesting one. This is very, very awkward. You have two sells, which confirms or verifies our idea of trend, even though it's a very choppy trend. Broken up by a buy here, and even as ugly as choppy as this is, the buy over here was 30. I actually traded this. It was a 32 buy. Boom, in two candles, you had 20 points. It was a great reversal move here. Right here, you have only, even here. Sorry, I didn't trade this one because it was just super fast. But look at the Dow over here. So you're actually coming in over here at 91, right? That's your sell signal is 91 after a consecutive, buy signals. You're selling over here. It was huge. It was like 50 points in 3 minutes. So you certainly were on the right side of the trade here. Now, okay, so now we actually have a buy in the Dow. Now this is, maybe the first wrong signal for us, but let's give it a shot. Since let's put this theory into practice. Let's buy this this Dow trade. I wonder if I should be trading it with a 20. We'll trade it with 2010 because we're still not quite into the normal volatility regime. Although we're definitely getting closer to and it's 9 o'clock. We should be in the normal volatility regime. Gives us 40-20. But let's just we'll play it tight. But here you have the first reversal signal in the Dow. Let's take a look. By the way, I want to make sure the NASDAQ is not reversing. NASDAQ is close, but hasn't quite given us the buy sell. So let's play this out. We'll see. What's my on the CFD? My take profit is 406, which would be, I guess, 26 on this, somewhere around there. I'll let you know when if it goes. I mean, here it's annoying to have to keep both of these guys on the thing, but also I'm kind of want to watch the NASDAQ just to make sure I get that signal. But that's the general idea. It doesn't work. That would be the first time it fails out of 5, which is a great ratio. It's an 80% ratio against a 66% break even, which is fine for me. But I just want to demonstrate this in action, so you guys get a good feel for what I'm talking about. And obviously, this is one of those kind of trades that I really love doing during the New York session, when you clearly have big waves of liquidity movement one way, and then eventually they kind of give up and they go the other way. And that give up move is a really, it's an easier way to handicap that move. Like, I know trend is clearly the most powerful trade in trading, but turn is a much easier trade to identify. You just don't, to me, it's easier to because turn is a derivative of trend. Trend has to develop, and you already have a history from which you can work on. Whereas when you're trying to trade trend, you're really trading you're not trading the past, you're trading the future. You're projecting into the future that there'll be an extension. Whereas when you're trading turn, you're sort of trading off of the near-term history. At least that's how I view it. Let's see if it works out for us. We got 16, 17 minutes, but today I'm really gonna. We'll trade a little bit on the indices. If we get more opportunities, we'll trade them more. But what I really want to do is take your focus to longer term charts on FX, on the hourly charts, and just show you how powerful this pattern is to trade the turns in currencies, which are really the best thing, because currencies by very definition are turn instruments, right? Even though everybody says they're trend instruments, they're turn instruments. Currencies are never in any kind of a sustained trend. They're always just in an up-down wave. And even within sustained trends, they always have very nice reversal waves. And you'll see how on the 1 hour charts, you have like so many really crystal clear, great risk reward opportunities to trade kind of a turn to trend idea that I'm talking about here. So actually, we got 10 minutes to the open. Screw it. Might as well do it. I'll keep an eye on the Nasdaq chart. Let me just go to let me go to my other computer. Hang on a second. So I'll just keep an eye on here for a second. Where am I? All right. If we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on the NAS on my other chart, but I wanted to just take you to FX land for a second. So let's go into this chart. So here's Euro. Let's go to the 1 hour chart, and I'm just going to cycle through like 5, 10 currency pairs on the hour chart. Oh, I wonder if this was. That's actually interesting. Let's see. This is Euro 1 hour chart. No, only one sell. So only one sell. So here's a great example. So you see, you really want like some kind of a sustained trend. Even though this was a sustained trend, it was truncated. Just didn't have. It only had one wave, right? Here's a trend that had multiple waves, multiple waves, multiple waves. Then boom, after all these multiple trend waves, this gave you a sell signal over here on the fourth. Great entry. Just super great entry for a reversal, right? That's what I mean about using the hourly charts to kind of find really good ideas. So instead of me going through each particular currency pair, let's just see how this would have worked on. So like right now, for example, we're operating in a buy environment in a pound. 52 was the buy, right? And typically on the hour chart, I like to trade it with a 25 target, 50 stop. So this went down to like 38, and you bought this at 53. It actually would have made, I think maybe it would have made it 77. It was close enough to make 25 just on this particular trade. Let's look at the CAD snapshot of a CAD. So we don't have it. So we have lots of wave, and we have single wave. This is one of the great things I love about it. Single waves moves are just ignored. So we don't have any signals on CAD. It's just okay. So here's a reversal move on Euro Aussie, right? So this is a buy. The buy comes in on this particular candle here at 60.07. So stop is 59.50, just for argument's sake. It goes down to 59.81, and 60. 30 would be my target. I'm just approximating. Of course, that more than hits it, right? Beautiful, beautiful target, beautiful trade here, right? So euro, pound and euro Aussie already hit targets. This does not give you any signals. It's interesting. This would have given you a signal here, which would have been a great signal here on the 5th of August in dollar yen for a turn. But now this is not a signal because it's only a single buy move here. If you look over here at euro yen, this is a sell signal, multiple buy waves, followed by a single sell signal over here. 68 is my entry. I'm looking at stop would be like 30.10. So I've survived the stop, and obviously, boom, quick, clean, clear target. Then we just kind of alternate. Now it's a whole bunch of sells. So the real trade in euro yen is when it turns to a buy. Here's pound yen. Pound yen gave you, look, multiple buy waves followed by a sell wave. The sell wave comes in over here. I wonder if 50 you would have been able to. Yeah, you actually survived it. 35 was your entry. You had an 85 as your stop. It went 60 against you, and then eventually, collapses. I mean, I can keep on going, but like I've never looked at these charts. Never. Certainly didn't look at the most recent trade. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do 10. Let's just do 10 so we can have a rough sample. Here's Euro CAD. No signals here because these are all single wave moves. Let's look at Euro Kiwi. Euro Kiwi had multiple buy waves, followed by a single sell wave over here. By the way, I'm almost, just to bring you up to date on my on my Dow, I'm at 6.769. Let's take this at 8 points. We'll just take the +8 on the Dow just so that I don't have to watch it. But just another good example of what I was telling you about, that this is the same idea on the 1-minute chart as I'm showing it to you on the hourly chart, this was a turn trade. The wave started to go to the upside, and it would have made the full 10 had I just simply held on to it. But it took a few minutes for that trade to resolve. But if you guys followed me, that was a nice clean 9-point trade, for the move. So hopefully you guys like that. Okay, where was I? Euro Kiwi. So Euro Kiwi, this was, again, we're looking for a 50-point stop, which could be very, very volatile in Euro Kiwi, but let's give ourselves the benefit of the doubt. So this is an entry at 45, basically very close. Yeah, and Euro Kiwi, 50 cents and 50 pips in Euro Kiwi is nothing. So we do survive this, right? No, 45, maybe we don't. If I use a 50, I really don't. Let's just call this a loser, because 45 plus 50 would be 95. I would have been stopped out at spread. Let's just say I get stopped out. But you can see that, that's not the proper volatility wrapper for Euro Kiwi, but we're just going to use one size fits all just to make that argument. And lastly, we're going to go to the Aussie. And here in the Aussie, we have, 2 buy waves followed by a sell wave over here. There's no retrace over here. It's a 56, 55 entry, and it goes all the way down to 13. So more than enough. So Euro Aussie, Aussie makes it. Unless the last one, let's close up with Kiwi. And again, I'm looking for single wave pattern. So there's no trades in Kiwi. So just to review, we have no trade so far. Winner here. I forgot what we did with CAD. Oh, there's no trade in CAD. Winner here. So winner here. So that's 3 winners, 4 winners, 5 winners, 6 winners, 1 loser, 7 winners, and then no trades. So there's like 11 samples. 7 winners, 1 loser. The rest were just no trades. Let's say we're just using our 25.50. That puts us into 7 times 25 minus 50, puts us into 125 pips in very, very stress-free type of trading. from the beginning of, effectively from beginning of August, right? And you obviously have more currency pairs, and you could certainly expand your universe. But I thought it was a really interesting. I literally haven't looked at these charts. I had no idea. Trust me, I just as surprised as you are at finding it. I knew it was a high probability pattern. I just didn't realize it was that high probability. But I think it's a very useful way to use our indicator to find good quality trades on the hour chart. Does that make sense to everybody? Yep. Okay, cool. So let's get off the hourly. Let's go back to the minute. Let's go look at what the indices are doing. So we took the profits in the Dow, which is the first trade of the day, looking to see what the NAS wants to do. If the NAS gives us a buy signal, we'll go again on the NAS as well. And that was basically sort of like the main idea that I wanted to. That's why I wanted to hang out with you guys today, because usually it's a quiet day. It gives a chance to think through some longer ideas. I definitely want to start incorporating the hourly charts on FX for our signals, because I think they're really valuable, and they're very stress-free. They're sort of very low maintenance, low idea kind of things. So we could eventually probably even create a little dashboard that would tell us, which ones are triggering on a turn signal. Here's a NAS kind of giving me a buy signal right over here. So we've got 55 seconds. I got to wait for this candle to complete. But assuming this candle completes, we'll go long the NAS just to finish up. Oops, I got to go into the NAS. Hang on a second. Here's the NAS. We'll go, assuming we can get that. We'll go into the NAS, and it should be, we'll do do I really want to do 1020? I should do 1020, but it's opening, oh God, this is like, I'm 9:28. I got 1 minute to the opening rotation. God, let's just do 10:5. It works, but with full knowledge that obviously we're coming in right into the market opening, which means we can get our head handed to us, but let's give it a shot. Got 8-9 seconds. All right, I'm coming in. Either this work. I mean, this is market open. It could just completely wipe me out, but it does. Let's give it a shot. Let's just see how this plays out. One minute to the open. And obviously, the reason I hate taking trades on the open is because there's just, you don't know where the imbalance is. If the imbalance is to the sell side, they'll just flush us out, and then establish a true trend move. So you're always at the mercy of the opening market imbalance, which we may very well be. That's why I use a tight stop here, because we get flushed out. It's just the nature of the business. Oops, there we go. Ooh, wow, that was fast. That was so fast that that was the opening rotation. It just almost took us to profit, and then just took us back out. So let's see how it trades out. Where's the market here? God damn it. Let me. All right, I'm going to take 3 here, even though I think it eventually pulls, and we sort of got lucky here on the pull, but it's bullshit opening market rotation. So, all right, so we took 3 on there, took 9 on the Dow. That was not bad for Monday's work. And now obviously we just we need to orient ourselves on the highs and the lows. We're sort of mid-range right now. We can give ourselves, I can hang with you guys for the next 10-15 minutes. We'll see if they test the highs, the lows, and we'll try to react off of that. But that was, we survived. I'm glad I only did a 10-point stop, Even though this thing could really run hard now. And if you guys held on, yeah, Tony, they are, and we have the EA to enable them. But I'm kind of I'm always I always like to do stuff sort of manually first, just to get really comfortable with with all the mechanics. But the EA that the last EA that the last EA that we offered in the course has that functionality, I believe. Maybe it doesn't. Oh no, actually, I have the EA functionality, but you guys don't. Look at that. That's really starting to run nicely now. That would have gone the full 10 points. So anybody had the balls to take the NASDAQ trade with me? Connie. Connie's like, yeah, I took it. Yeah, I knew it. But I love this pattern. I love this pattern. I'm like so happy because I wasn't super happy. I felt like there was just too many restrictions. There was session trade restrictions. There was all sorts of if then ideas. And suddenly it was just like after doing the trading battle, like the light really came on in my head, and I was like, oh, this is really all a turn trade, and we have the perfect turn signal for this stuff. Plus 15 on NAS, Karen, or you trade? You took 15 out of NASDAQ. Wow, good for you. Good for you. Jonathan is going to chime in with I've got 3 out of S&P. Oh, so the new idea is super simple, Jonathan. I'm going to summarize it for you since you understand it. We're looking the sequence of triggers in the turn indicator is 2 sells and a buy, or 2 buys and a sell. In other words, some sort of indication there was a prior continuous trend, and then that the first signal that breaks that prior continuous trend, it's got to be at least 2 or more sells prior in order to establish a legitimate buy, 2 or more buys in order to, yeah, I knew you'd understand it right away because you've been trading the indicator for a long time. It the whole idea was it just sort of the thing that turned out in my head was that it's really turned. Oh, look at this, baby! We're coming into possibly test the lows in the Dow. Let's see how that plays out. You got Dow plus 20, Ricky, on the long side. What'd you do? Or you just shorted the hell out of the Dow when it started to dive. You're just trading momentum. Oh, you guys short down. Okay, good for you. I mean, I'm glad you did great. But that's not our setup trade, but good for you. I'm glad you did. Okay, so coming into the high low. And who is it? Tony was asking me, like, when do I know when to trade to break, trade the breaks? Like this would be the break trade. I really suck at trading momentum trades, Tony. So it's not like you couldn't have taken that trade over here in the 30s, in the in the low 40s, and probably taken it all the way right here, right down to plus 10, plus 20. I mean, it's clearly, you can see the continuation trade, right? You can see it working. It just simply depends on, I don't have the personality to kind of trade, fresh highs, fresh lows really well. I mean, I can do it, but it's like, it's like me, hitting, it's like me playing tennis left-handed, it's not a natural formation, but it doesn't mean that it isn't very natural for you. So I want you guys to obviously watch this visually, but I'm going to just try to trade to my strength for now. So, well, I mean, this thing is just, really breaking hard. And the thing is, you notice I'm doing nothing. There's no trade setups for me here. This is all severe selling. And until I get an inkling of a buy signal, I'm not moving on the, oh, you're left-handed. That's funny. I do only one thing. I do everything right-handed in my life. Every sport, every soccer, football, I kick right-footed, right-handed, I'm right-eyed, blah, 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 blah. There's one thing I do left-handed, which I guarantee you nobody will guess. But it's really weird. It's the only thing I do left-handed. I used to be a tennis player, Jonathan, until my eyes went out. Now, unfortunately, I don't have. It's a long story, but I have no depth perception, so I can't play tennis. Okay, who wants to guess what sport I play left-handed while we watch the Dow continuously making fresh lows? Checkers. That's not a sport. Golf. No, golf is my father's game. God, I just shoot me now if I ever wind up on a golf course. But it's sort of like it's not that far away in terms of concept. I play left wing in hockey. Like I actually play goalie. That's my favorite position in hockey. But I shoot left-handed in hockey. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, we got maybe buy signal in this thing. I'm watching it very carefully here. Where's my Dow? We got to give ourselves, got to be patient with this trade. We got 24 seconds here. I'm gonna get, okay, I'm jumping the gun a little bit here on this for the, oh, come on, baby. I thought I was gonna get the full 10. Let's see if we can get, let's see, maybe. And remember, if this doesn't work, I'll come back again, because the whole idea of the high-low trades is you gotta be proper sized and properly patient for the turn. But let's see if this, maybe this will give me the full 10. I'll give it, we'll give it a shot. Might want to retest the bottom and may take me out on the bottom, but let's, I had it like +6. I just didn't, I didn't take it. It's really testing. May test fresh bottoms, and if it does, we'll come in with if we get a second signal, we'll come in with bigger size to reconcile the trade. Coming back. What's my TP on this? It's 08, which is, I guess, like 98. Is it? No, 8. What is this underneath? Yeah, so that'll be like 28. Wow, Jesus, really flipping back and forth super fast. Okay, we're gonna just watch this, let this play itself out. Looks like I'm gonna make fresh lows. It's gonna probably take me out. Let's see how it's trading. Looks like we're gonna make fresh lows. Kind of holding. The next, so if this, I'm gonna trade, I'm gonna do something. If this holds as a green candle, I'm gonna do a secondary lot here. Oh yeah, it took me out. Okay, never mind. Okay, so now we just go back to our standard protocol of being patient, looking for a second turn to the downside. So we, the first wave didn't quite bounce. Now we're waiting for, for second wave. And as I said, those of you guys who are trading momentum, this is a great momentum move. It's obviously moving. Look at that, we're down 230 in the Dow. Really big, nice move to the downside. Interesting. Nas is kind of holding up, but the Dow is really dying here. All right, let's give this a shot. Let's see how this is trading. So this is tough. This is a tough play where we bounce. I'm just hoping this isn't too big a candle, because if it is, it might put me into a. I hate this. I hate these. All right, I'm gonna break my own rules and just kind of run with the candle now, even though, and it's, the problem is, I'm afraid that the candle is going to run too high up, and all the profit will be in the bounce candle. And let's see if I can, what's my TP on this? 300. So I'm like, let's see if this can hold. So it's 5. I mean, I managed to get myself at a relatively decent entry on this candle. So this is the bounce candle. Let's see if it can hold. So 300 would be, what's the discount on this? That the futures discount is about 15. I guess, would that be 15? Did that take me out? Oh, that already took me out. I'm like watching the trade. It took me out. So there we go. Like I said, when we're trading high lows, there is a second plan and a third plan. So in this case, the second plan resolved the trade. The trade comes back to to give us the profit we're seeking. But this is what makes this particular scalp setup very different from everything else that we do, because there's a second step and even a third step to try to trade this properly. Miguel, good job. Dow 20. Yeah. Those of you who like, a cheap way to trade me is to wait for me to get stopped out on the first wave and then come back on the second wave. If you want to do it that way, let me be your sacrificial lamb. But that's the point. The point is that the high lows are just a great scalping machine if you know how to properly trade them. And yes, I know there was 100 points to the downside here, but as I said, I'm just not that good at trading the continuation trade. You guys are welcome to push it really, really hard that way, and we certainly have the indicator, to help you to get into that. And definitely, the opening half-hour rotation is when you really want to trade those high lows, because that's really when you have the highest probability of continuation. Yeah, so what, Tony, what is that? Like you took a hit on the first Dow and then you made plus 10 a 3x on the second one? Okay. So strategy 2, plan B worked, right? We have this is what we call our plan B trade. We have a plan A, plan B, and plan C trade. Yeah, and that's exactly it. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. But it's very important. I mean, those of you who are new, who are kind of watching how we trade live, you need to understand something very, very importantly. We take our stops. We don't ever average in or average out. If you want to understand, I'm happy. Does anybody want to like sort of understand why we never average into a position? Why we size up, but we never average in? Do you want to understand the mechanics of that? I'm happy to explain it to you. Otherwise, everybody else pretty much knows. We're going to fresh lows here, so maybe another opportunity. Going back to small size, going back to plan A. Let's see how this is trading. Maybe we'll do one more trade here. NASDAQ is just sort of mid-range, so there is just no story in NASDAQ. Oh, you know what no, I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't. I thought I screwed up. I thought I had a sell signal here, but I didn't. Okay. All right, let's watch this for a couple more minutes. Let's see if we can get one more trade into the can here. So fresh lows. One of our favorite trades, by the way, if we ever get a chance, it's rarely, Dow, it's kind of hard to do that, is the reversal candle off the lows where like it makes fresh lows and turns green on the close. That would be awesome. Right now, we're gonna, I'm gonna let this green complete fully. I'm not gonna really front run this green because we're clearly in a relatively decent selling mode right now. So it may take a little while to stabilize the prices and get a bounce back. Okay, but let me just kind of show you why, while this is happening, why the mechanics of averaging in is a sucker bet. Let's say you bought over here and it goes against you. You didn't stop yourself out, you just bought more, right? Over here. And it didn't, because you now have a higher average cost because you had a cost over here and a cost over here, your cost is somewhere over here. It's a mechanical example, right? So I'm waiting for like a good green can. This is not we made fresh. Actually, you know what? I'm taking this trade. Sorry, guys. Damn it, I screwed up. While I was talking, this was a green reversal off the lows. So we're going to take this trade and let's see if it works for us. All right, you know what? I'm going to take like 6 on that just because I screwed up the entry a little bit. Sorry. So I'm trying to explain too many things here. So everybody following me here? So this was a classic signal for us. A candle that makes fresh lows but ends up green, same thing as a candle that makes fresh highs but ends up red, is a great entry for us, right? So the entry should have been right over here. I should have been here at 17 on the futures. Popped all the way. What was this? 170. It went all the way to like 80, 90. So regardless, where you went, you guys would have all made full 10 points. I just took 7 out of it because I was a little bit late. But Connie got 10. Good job. But that is a bread and butter. I mean, that is a bread and butter trade for us. The reversal off the lows, reversal off the highs is just a beautiful trade. Because what are we doing here? We're trading auction theory. In auction theory, you have waves of buyers, waves of sellers that move price because there's just one way price action, right? Market makers are on the opposite side of that, accumulating. Once all the selling is done, right? 2 things are happening. The guys who've sold want to cover their positions, so they create buying. Guys who want bargain hunting see, oh, these are limit orders, and market makers who've happy to have sold to the guy who sold over here want to squeeze the living shit out of anybody who sold short here. So they're trying to bounce them back. So we have 3 things going our way, which is why we like to enter, on that position. Now, sometimes all those 3 things are not enough. And if you have enough crowd panic, you're going to have waves and waves and waves of puking. But, eventually there's just nothing left, right? You know how like when you're lying in a bathroom and you're just hugging the floor and there's just nothing left? Well, we like to look at those opportunities because then we have a chance to maybe turn around. I thought I'd end today's session with a beautiful analogy to make everybody's Monday that much better. I know Karen would appreciate that. I thought you would appreciate that. Here's the irony, Karen. So I may sound like a lush, right? Because I sound like, oh, you must be drinking a lot if you find yourself on the floor of the bathroom. I literally never drink. The the only times that I ever get that sick is when I get food poisoned. Which I just, oh God, I hate that so much. But like, that was my personal analogy. But if you've had a little bit more to drink, you kind of get the idea. One more possible trade. Let's kind of watch this a little bit here. If this turns red, I'm just going to let you guys go because I got to go and deal with all the post contest stuff. Kind of watching this. This is very, very ephemeral. Let's just let this candle trade complete. It does it, you can see they're still not quite done. Not quite done. That's why I wanted to give it back. So I'll leave this alone. But there will be very soon a very decent buy trade coming up. Maybe 2 or 3 candles from now, there'll be a decent buy trade coming up. So keep an eye on that as you like it. NAS is also doing fresh lows. Sorry, I didn't even look. NAS is also fresh lows over here. That could be a potential trade as well. But watch those guys. I'll leave you guys. We had a great Monday actually for a bullshit Monday. I think we picked up like 30 points with just no sweat. Hopefully you guys liked it all. Tomorrow, we're back in the game for Tuesday trading. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm glad we did a little bit of a Monday session today. I really liked them. So everybody have a great day. Good job, Ricky. Good job. Great. Thank you guys. Everybody have a wonderful time. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.